Good evening, everyone. I'm Diana Williams with Bill Ritter. We interrupt ABC's coverage right now because we have late-breaking information about an incident at the George Washington Bridge.
Commissioner Bernard Carrick of the NYPD talking now. Let's listen in.
Thereby closing down 14th Street South in southern Manhattan. This will include or relate to all pedestrian and vehicular traffic except essential emergency vehicles and personnel shall be prohibited in the following areas: Manhattan south of 14th Street, and that will be from East River to the Hudson River. The only vehicles that will be allowed in those areas will be emergency vehicles, police, fire vehicles, National Guard, and anything authorized by the police department. There will be some vehicles in the morning that will have to get down there for deliveries of certain things that we're familiar with already. They will be allowed in, and residents, that's it. Anyone trying to violate the order will be arrested and could be found guilty of a Class B misdemeanor. I urge people to follow the order. There's no need to come into southern Manhattan tomorrow, and as a result of the order, the best thing to do is stay away.
Can you talk about this incident that came up on Channel 2 about some people coming across the GW Bridge explosives? Can you comment on that at all?
I haven't seen the report, and I haven't heard about anybody coming across the bridge with explosives. Okay.
Have you heard anything about the van on the Jersey side?
Well, I've heard basically the same thing you have. We haven't been able to confirm it yet. They weren't near the bridge, to my understanding. If it in fact did happen, we're trying to confirm it through our detective bureau.
One more question on this.
South of 14th Street, that includes all bridges and tunnel crossings south of 14th Street. Those are closed down for
any movement south of 14th Street.
And you have not heard about any explosives on the George Washington Bridge or in the Lincoln Tunnel?
Nope.
Commissioner, it was in Jersey near the bridge. Is that your understanding? Do you know the jurisdiction?
Well, what we heard was Port Authority police stopped a van that might have had explosives in it. We haven't been able to confirm it yet. We're working on it. When we hear something, we'll let you know.
That's on the Jersey side, right?
It's on the Jersey side. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, and we'll be back. So we don't have to go through this. I'm hopeful.
Okay, what you have just seen there is Police Commissioner Bernard Carrick not confirming any reports at this point. Reports that we have heard that there was a truck loaded with possibly explosives near the vicinity of the George Washington Bridge, and he said that those reports have not been confirmed.
The police
they
department
are checking on it right now.
You heard John Miller tell Peter Jennings that he too had heard this from Port Authority sources. Again, Police Commissioner Bernard Carrick not confirming that anything had happened or any threat to the George Washington Bridge. We'll, of course, keep you posted. We're going to return it to ABC News now, and we'll be back in about 7 minutes with the 11 o'clock. Nope. My mistake. We are going to go instead to Peter Jennings. We're going to go to Jeff Rawson, who has been out in the streets of Manhattan all day. Jeff, where are you?
Well, we are now at the corner of Church and Duane, and I want to show you a live picture of what's happening. Still a good deal of activity down here, and there is an issue here. As the rescue effort continues, you have an active crime scene, which means you have investigators down there trying to gather evidence. The FBI, the ATF, just about every federal agency you can think of, trying to go through the rubble and gather evidence and clues. But at the same time, you have an active rescue operation. You have firefighters, investigators looking into that, trying to make any rescues they can, and now time is crucial. Back to you.
Stay with us out there for just a second. We heard Police Commissioner Carrick mentioning earlier this evening that there were possibly two police officers that they had heard from. Do you have any information about that?
We do not have any information on that. In fact, all we're seeing at this point are waves of fire officials and police officers walking down. They throw water on their faces. They walk right by. They are fatigued. Their eyes are bloodshot, and frankly, they don't feel like talking. They've been working so hard,
Jeff,
so it's hard to get information.
Yeah, what about ambulances coming out of that area? Have you seen anything?
All day we have been seeing that, but not quite as much anymore. But we have seen a good deal of that. I mean, I'm looking beyond our camera here, beyond what you can see. I see one ambulance down there trying to make its way through, but we've seen very few of them coming this way. All we've seen here, mostly tonight, you've seen it change from ambulances, and now a good deal of city buses are coming through, and they're using those out-of-service city buses to carry the emergency personnel to and from the areas where they're getting water and food. In fact, there's an insurance fund club right over here where they keep getting water and donuts and food so they can go right on back. But they have buses in and out, not as many ambulances as the night has continued.
Jeff, do you have a sense of how extensive the actual rescue operation is tonight? We've gotten conflicting reports, frankly, and we would like to tell our viewers that it's going 100% or they're holding back a little bit. We just don't know.
Well, it is 100%. In fact, my photographer, Todd Pierce, and I walked down this street and around. We kind of went in the back way and got a real good look. They have many lights poured onto it right now, and while they're a little standoffish, I mean, they tell us that the fires are under control. There is no fire burning out of control at this point, according to firefighters. But they are in there trying to go through the rubble. However, remember, there is damage to some area buildings, and they don't want another collapse and more people to be killed. Standoffish maybe a little bit, but still they are in there and they are actively looking for people. We heard in a Mayor Giuliani news conference just about an hour ago, broadcast on our hour at Eyewitness News. He said it is an active rescue effort, and they do believe, in fact, they said they know for a fact that there are people trapped in there alive, and certainly that is the priority at this moment as we speak.
And Jeff, I can imagine that they have the dogs down there right now trying to help out in that situation. What about the smoke? There's been smoke down there all day. Is that finally starting to clear up just a little bit?
A little bit, but you know what? It's funny you mention that. Just a couple minutes before we spoke, I was thinking to myself, wow, the dust is settling, but then all of a sudden we got another breeze and the dust is coming up again and everyone threw their masks back on. So certainly it's not over yet. The smoke, I mean, you can tell in the distance that there were times when I couldn't see a block ahead of us. This is Duane, that's Reed right over there. I couldn't even see beyond Reed at some points tonight, but now we can. The smoke certainly going down because all day long we were watching World Trade number 7 burn, and obviously that collapsed, and police and fire officials say they have that now under control. So the smoke has dwindled a bit, but it's still not gone, and that dust keeps on getting kicked up with the wind.
And again, just to clarify, you are saying that the fires are out.
That's what the firefighters are telling us, that they have those fires under control now. It's a matter of going through that rubble.
All right, Jeff, stand by. We are going to begin our 11 o'clock edition of Eyewitness News right now, and we'll get to you in just a few minutes. Jeff Ross has been out there all day. Thank you, Jeff. Well, quite simply, as we begin our 11 o'clock edition of Eyewitness News, the unthinkable happened today. The World Trade Center, both towers, gone, and we are all witnesses to it, and to some degree we are all victims. Tonight, there are survivors trapped in that rubble. Mayor Giuliani confirmed it less than an hour ago. How many, we do not know. Our reporters, as you've seen, have been on the streets all day.
About 10 o'clock this morning, photographer Glenn Mayrose and I stood at 7 World Trade Center, the Twin Towers still piercing the clear blue sky. Moments later, a thunderous rumble.
Underground! Let's go! Underground!
We started running north on Church Street alongside police officers, FBI agents, emergency workers. We thought the ground below was about to explode. It seems now the sound we heard were the floors of the South Tower collapsing as the skyscraper tumbled to the ground. The expanding cloud of smoke and debris chasing us up the street. I screamed at Glenn, weighed down with his camera, batteries, and tapes, to keep moving.
Come on, Glenn, you can do it, man.
5, 6 blocks later, we stopped, our hearts racing, people crying, others gasping for air. As we caught our breath, Kevin McNeil explained to us how he got off the 85th floor.
Felt like a bomb went off. Smoke, everything was flying. We just had a hard time finding a way out. We found it, down we came.
Still on Church Street, thinking we were safe, we did an interview with a Port Authority engineer who worked on the 72nd floor of number 1 World Trade Center. We never finished the interview.
It's a very strong building, as you remember from the blast the last time. So,
But what does it take as an engineer to do the... Oh, no.
Dash up Church Street resumed after the North Tower came down. When the horror would end, we had no idea.
Saying rescue crews are out there. They're working with portable lights. They're trying to and have already put out the fire in the rubble of what was the Twin Trade Towers. And they are certainly hoping that they will find those 2 survivors that we have heard about and perhaps others. Let's go back to Jeff Ross, and he's live in Lower Manhattan with late details for us. Jeff?
It is eerie down here. You look around, the lights are out in Lower Manhattan. The traffic lights are out, the building lights are out, and certainly the only lights you can see around here are emergency vehicles. As you look down Church Street, you can see exactly what we're talking about. There are literally thousands of emergency crews here. We've seen some from Long Island. We've seen some from New Jersey, some from Connecticut, we understand, looking for any, at this point, signs of life.